from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Ministry of Education Natal, and it is indeed a pleasure for me to be here today and every week as we share as much information as we can about our ministry, or to further develop our students and our young people, sharing opportunities as well as activities and achievements. And so this week we have two separate segments. We know it's the third Saturday of the month, which means at the bottom of the hour we have the ECCB Children's Connection program, and prior to that, last week and the week before, we observed our month through the our month quiz, and today we have a representative from the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society with us, and we will learn a bit more in a bit about why she's here and a bit about our month. And so parents, please make sure that your children are listening. Remember that we have our tree quizzes as well, and we know that all of our children love the tree quizzes because they get to learn about interesting facts about trees, and so we encourage you to ensure that they are locked in and ready to respond. Last week we celebrated the World Nursery Rhyme Week, and on Nevis we focused on rhymes that had the word little in them. And so on Monday we had Little Miss Muffet, on Tuesday we had Little Boy Blue, on Wednesday we had Little Bo Peep, and on Thursday Mary had a little lamb. Friday we ended with I'm a Little Teapot, and throughout our early childhood centers, throughout our schools, we saw activities which included these nursery rhymes. We also saw initiatives from the various school-wide initiatives happening as well. We saw the counseling units incorporating them, because nursery rhymes can teach values as well. And so we want to send highest commendations to all persons who attempted to incorporate the nursery rhymes for the World Nursery Rhyme Week. And I know that the children also had lots of fun. We saw some of the videos and clips, and they had a great time. So highest commendations to the team at the Department of Education who spearheaded and led and coordinated, and also to all the teachers and the parents who came along to ensure that the children enjoyed Nursery Rhyme Week. Last week we also had our sixth formers here, the members of the Nevis Literary and Debating Society, and they were here promoting their debate. And I want to remind you, ahead of going into our ABBA month conversation, I want to remind you of this evening's debate. There are two debates happening this evening, starting at 7 p.m. at the Jessups Community Center. Admission is free, and there will be refreshments on sale. There are two moots. Moot 1, Citizen by Investment opens the doors for white-collar criminals in the Caribbean. Citizenship by Investment, better known as CBI, opens the doors for white-collar criminals in the Caribbean. And the second moot is the increase in STDs among young persons is a result of inadequate health education in schools. The increase in STDs among young persons is a result of inadequate health education in schools. And so we are looking forward to your support this evening, and please support the students at the Nevis Sixth Form Literary and Debating Society. They also will be hosting a Thanksgiving luncheon, an upcoming Thanksgiving luncheon on Friday, 22nd November in the school's hall, and you can reach out to the Nevis Sixth Form. We have the baked chicken lunch, $25, the chunks lunch, $30, Creole fish, $30. Stewed pork, $30. And curried mutton, $30. So those are the offerings for the upcoming lunch. Remember, the debaters are heading off to St. Martin in March 2024, and so the students are trying to raise funds to go to that activity, or to at least ensure that they defray costs for that activity. So those are the upcoming events for the Nevis Sixth Form, which were shared by our students last week. We also want to commend the students who participated in the manga, comic drawing and storytelling workshop yesterday, hosted by the Intellectual Property Office in St. Kitts and Nevis and the World Intellectual Property Organization. And they learned to do manga comic drawing, anime type comic drawing. They also learned about the importance of intellectual property and how they can ensure that they have their materials properly copyrighted. It was indeed an interactive session, and the students learned so much, and they interacted so much. The persons from St. Kitts were able to tell us about, from the Intellectual Property Office, were able to marvel at their interaction. So commendations to those students who participated, and we look forward to seeing your other outputs in the very, very near future. We also want to commend the Gingerland Secondary School. Gingerland Secondary School hosted their TVET Day activity yesterday, and they had several career offerings in TVET. They also had some exhibitions and modeling and music displays and pig trucks, and children were working excavators. They were doing several things, and so the TVET industry, technical industry, is very important, and we want to ensure that our children are exposed to the various possibilities. And so commendations to the Gingerland Secondary School for us hosting a successful TVET Day activity yesterday. We are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our guest from the NHCS as well as the questions for ABBA Month 2024.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughan Radio.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughan Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughan Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Ministry of Education et al., and we are here this morning. We are sharing some important updates and information, and we also have some special guests. And our first guest, I don't think she's really a guest. She has been coming by for some years, but in this capacity, it is her first time. And so we have with us, I'll allow her to introduce herself and let us know the capacity in which she's here today.
Good morning, listeners and viewers. My name is Nikesha Henry, and I am here on behalf of the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, and also a member of the Biodiversity and Conservation Committee.
All right, and so we know that the youth involvement in the Biodiversity and Conservation Society has been something that the NHCS has been promoting and pushing for several years. And ABBA Month is one of the times when you get to plan several activities. Can you tell us a bit about what has been planned for the 2024 ABBA Month celebrations?
Of course. So this month we've started by having the director of the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society doing some e-blasts about some trees, our local trees. That's on the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society Facebook page, so be sure to look out for those pop-ups every day. And specifically for this month, we'll be having a tree labeling activity that's on the 30th of November, and I'm going to share some more details about that. So it's going to be with the Nevis Methodist Youth Group and with collaboration with the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, and that's going to be held at Fort Ashby in Cotton Ground, and our start time is 9 a.m. So I'm inviting everyone, youth, young adults, to take part in this spectacular activity.
All right, so wonderful, Miss Henry, and I think this is a good time for us to just pause for a cause before we talk about that activity too much.
Okay.
Let's pause for a cause. We have some questions for our secondary school students and our primary school students. Listeners, we will run this until the bottom of the hour, so make sure that you get your answers quickly and correctly, and call in and answer, have your answers ready based on the questions asked. Just a reminder for those who called in last week and the previous week, you are supposed to reach out to the NHCS to organize or to coordinate the collection of your prize, which will be a gift certificate from Buddy's Restaurant. All right, so let's go with the first primary school question, Ms. Henry.
Okay, our first question for this week is, name one type of fruit tree growing in Nevis whose seed can be eaten as a type of nut. I'll repeat, name one type of fruit tree growing in Nevis whose seed can be eaten as a type of nut.
All right, wonderful. So primary schoolers, that's your question. Please make sure you call in and you give us the answer. And we are going to go to our first secondary school question.
Our first secondary school question is, give the formal name of the rain tree as a large spreading tree found in the Malcolm Gishad Park and in many other places around Nevis. I'll repeat, give the formal name of the rain tree, a large spreading tree found in the Malcolm Gishad Park and in many other places in Nevis.
All right, so that one, I know the tree that you're talking about. I don't know if I can readily get the name. So I'm hoping one of our secondary school students can get the name of that tree. So we have a question for the primary schoolers. We have a question for the secondary school students, and I'm hoping that they get the answer because we have some interesting facts that they can learn, and we have been many of them have been hesitant to call in and to share. I don't know if children are sleeping in much later these days, but parents, have your children call in. And Nikisha, while we're waiting for the calls, we can talk a bit about the November 30th tree labeling activity that is coming up under the umbrella of the NHCS Biodiversity and Conservation Committee, as well as the Methodist Youth Group.
Okay. So the main purpose of this activity is to educate our young persons, especially on our local trees and how long they've been here, etc. And the labeling part is going to be a fun hands-on activity. I think that most children especially would be interested in taking part with the NHCS and the Methodist group, and it's also a great session for us to educate our young people. So I would really like, even if you're not a part of the Methodist group, you've just happened to hear about the activity, feel free to join, and you can also reach out to anyone who works at the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society to let them know you will be a part of this activity. And that's on the 30th of November at 9 a.m.
All right. So
at Fort Ashby.
At Fort Ashby. Yes. And many of our young people don't know where Fort Ashby is.
So that's in Cotton Ground.
Ashby is a place where we used to have our family fun days and our church fun days and lots of I think that's where the sailing regatta was. Yes, oh my goodness, I'm aged. The sailing regatta, that was a big event back in the not too long ago day. And those are some of the activities that took place at Fort Ashby. And it also has a rich tree life. And so many samples of different trees out there. Let's run the questions again. Oh, sure. We have a caller, Nike. Okay. Let's see here who we have. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you today?
Good.
Wonderful. Are you a primary school student or a secondary school student? Are you in primary school or high school?
Primary.
Primary, okay. Go ahead and give us the answer to your question.
Red nut.
A bread nut. We don't generally consider the bread nut a fruit tree. I'm almost tempted. I'm tempted. That's not one of the listed answers. Can I take your name and contact, and if we don't get one of the listed answers, we'll give the prize to you? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, what's your name?
Tiana McCoy.
McCoy, Tiane?
TIONNMCKOY.
Okay, Tiane, are you the winner of the art competition?
Yes.
All right, congratulations on that, Tiane. Hold on a moment. Melissa will take your parents' phone number, and you can think about it some more to see if you come up with another answer. But if not, if we don't get any other answers, we're going to give you that one, okay? Hold on a minute. All right, Nikesha, let's read the question again and see if we get any other answers for that one.
Okay, so the first question for primary school was, name one type of fruit tree growing in Nevis whose seed can be eaten as a type of nut.
Okay, and then we have the secondary question.
Secondary, give the formal name of the rain tree, a large spreading tree found in the Malcolm Gishad Park and in many other places around Nevis.
Okay, the numbers to call, 469-1616, 469-1700. And this is Arbor Month, better known as Tree Month, and that's when we learn a lot of facts about trees and also the importance of conserving and protecting our trees here on Nevis and across the world. So we love Arbor Month because we learn so much, and we hope that our students can also do the same. So Tiana gave us an answer. I'm wondering if anyone else has another one. Name one type of fruit tree growing in Nevis whose seed can be eaten as a type of nut. As I said, it's not one of the listed answers, but I'm tempted. And so if someone doesn't call in with one of the listed answers, we'll give it over to Tiane. Okay, let's go with the... You have any more information you want to share, or we can go with the second primary?
Sure, we can go with the second primary.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and go with the second primary question. Know that, listeners, the first one was name one type of fruit tree growing on Nevis whose seed can be eaten as a type of nut. And then Nikesha is going to bring us the second primary question. Okay, while she's pulling it up, let me go ahead and read it for you. Name one notable or interesting fact about the sandbox tree. Name one notable or interesting fact about the sandbox tree. Okay.
Okay, so that's the primary school question. Thank you for that, Miss Claxton. So for those of you who may be wondering what the Biodiversity and Conservation Committee is, or when it was established and stuff like that, I'm just going to share some few notes or information about the group, especially for persons that may be interested in joining. So in 1980, John Robinson became the first director of the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, and he would have established the Biodiversity and Conservation Committee. The committee was created to raise awareness about the need to protect and conserve our environment, particularly because we are a small island that faces the challenge of balancing development with environmental protection. It is also our responsibility to continually remind the public about the importance of safeguarding nature.
All right, so for persons who want to join the Biodiversity Committee, Nikesha, how would they, or NHCS generally, how would they go about doing that?
They can just stop by the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society that's in town by the Alexander Hamilton Museum, and you can also sign up to become a member of the society, but you do not have to be a member to be a part of any of these subcommittees. This is just one of them.
All right, wonderful. And so let's go again with the question.
The second primary school
question, and we have the first secondary question, and we're looking forward to hearing from our students.
So the second primary school question is, name one notable or interesting fact about the sandbox tree. I'll repeat, name one notable or interesting fact about the sandbox tree.
All right, thank you so much. And I know the sandbox tree. Once again, I don't know if that's dating me, but if I tell you my experience with the sandbox tree, I might be giving out the answer. So I won't tell the experience. But boys and girls, parents, we want the formal name for the rain tree, which was a secondary question. A large spreading tree found at MGR Malcolm Gisha Recreational Park. I know we've all probably sat under it or taken shade from it or seen it and really enjoyed the view and admired it. What is the formal name for that tree, the rain tree, at Malcolm Gisha Recreational Park and other places around Nevis? 469-1616, 469-1700. We only have a few seconds left because we are going to take a pause at the bottom of the hour, and so we look forward to hearing from any of our callers telling us the answers to these questions. We will go ahead and share the listed answers for the primary school question 1, Nikesha, because Tiana gave us one example.
Yes.
That wasn't a listed example, but we're going to accept it because we're at the bottom of the hour.
Right.
So tell us the listed answers that we have.
So for the first primary school question, which was name one type of fruit tree growing in Nevis whose seed can be eaten as a type of nut, is the cashew or cherry and almond.
Okay, so the cashew tree, and we spoke about the cashew tree last week at length, and that's when we used the cherry tree.
Yes.
We used to eat the cherry and then roast the cashew, and that was something that was Sunday afternoon fun, or Saturday afternoon fun, all across Nevis, back before TV and internet and tablets took over our lives and our minds. But it was a good time, and so those were the listed answers, but we will give the answer to Tiani, who called in and shared an alternate answer. I think that's a fair one. All right, for the other questions, I'm guessing that we might have to do some research during the week, Nikesha, and come back at them next week.
For sure.
Yes, so we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll return with the ECCB Children's Connection program. But we want to say thank you, Nikesha, for joining us this morning and for sharing the activities offered by the NHCS in celebration of ABBA Month. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Let's start the show. Whoa. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
8:60 a.m. The Powerhouse.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
Hi there, everyone, and welcome to the ECCB Children's Connection program. I am your host, Zahnela Claxton, and with me is our co-host,
Journey Hodge. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, Journey, have you ever received some money for your birthday or just your regular allowance and wondered, what should I do with this? Should I spend it? save it, or share it with someone who needs help. Has that ever happened to you?
I have received money, but I always know what to do when I have it.
All right. But we'll take a quick break, Ajane, and we will return to talk about the choices we have to make with our money.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real good living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
All right, welcome back. Before the break, we began to talk about the choices we have to make with our money. Imagine you just received $10 for your birthday. Now you have a big decision to make, a journey. Do you spend it on, let's say, a toy or something that you really want? Do you save some of it for something special in the future, like Christmas presents, contribution to your Christmas presents? Or do you share with your siblings, or maybe even share it with someone who needs it more than you do? Let's take a look at a story about Jaden, who just had a birthday. He received $50 as a gift. He was so excited. Jaden loves video games, but he also really wants to save up for that new bike he saw at the store. Last weekend, while he was out with his mom, he's also thinking about donating it to a local home for children, which he visited on a school trip. So he's thinking about several options. Ajani, what do you think Jaden should do with his money?
I think he should share some with the students at the local home, and then he can save the remainder for his bike.
So you wouldn't necessarily advise him to make any additional purchases towards the video games, because he's already planning.
No, he probably has a lot already.
All right. So why do you think Jaden should distribute his money that way, the way that you opted to share?
Well, he can help these children get things that they need, and the bike can help him get from one place to another, and it's also something he can do with exercising to keep up his health. Video games will just leave him there and make him heavy and all those things.
All right. So, as I said, Jaden is faced with making a decision on how to spend his $50. Can you spell that word for our listening audience?
Okay, choice. Choice is spelled CHOICE. Choice. CHOICE.
And choice is a commonly misspelled word, boys and girls. So because of that OI combination right there, we have to be careful. Some people forget the E. So Ajani, spell it once again for the listeners and viewers. Just make sure that they got it, and write it down, children, because this is a word that you need to know how to correctly spell. Choice.
Choice. CHOICE. Choice.
Perfect. So choice means picking between two or more things. In Jaden's case, what are the choices for spending his money? What are his choices?
Video games, saving up for a bike, or donating to a local home for children.
Okay, perfect. Before Jaden makes his decision, let's think about something really important, Ajani. This is something that we have spoken about in previous lessons, but it is very important to remember when we are faced with making wise decisions on how we spend our money. Ajani, do you remember what a need is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, tell us what a need is.
Okay, a need is something that you must have in order to live, such as water, clothing, and shelter.
Okay, perfect. And so needs are things we have to have in order to live. We talked about food, clothing, a place to stay, water. Those are some of our needs, and I think we exhausted the conversation about needs. And so, Ajani, on the other hand, we talked about needs and we talked about wants. Do you remember what a want is?
Allowance is something that you can live without, but you do enjoy using it.
Okay, good. And so we have one set of things like toys, video games, and candy. We talked about chewing gum back in the day as well when we were having the conversation. They're nice things to have, but we can also live without them. And so, Ajurne, of the choices that Jaden has to spend his money, name one that is a want.
Video games.
Video games, definitely a want. The video games, the bike, and the donation to the children's home are all actually wants. The donation is not a toy or candy, but it is a want that will make Jaden feel good about being charitable. Giving to those in need is always something good to do. So while it is Jaden's want, it may be the children's
need.
Right? And so let's talk about our needs and our choices. Jaden went to get ready for school and discovered that his school shoes were damaged. He could not use them anymore. He overheard his parents speaking earlier that they did not have enough money to pay the bills at the end of the month. A new pair of shoes would cost $50. What do you think Jaden should do and why?
Well, this is a turn of events.
It is.
I think Jaden should purchase his school shoes because he needs them. They're a form of clothing, something that he has to protect his feet from all the natural disasters that he may face at school. And it also helps his parents and takes a load off of them.
Okay. And he noted that they were struggling to pay the bills, right? So school shoes are indeed, as Ajurne considered, and listening audience, boys and girls, school shoes are considered a need. And offering his parents the birthday money to purchase the shoes would be what we call a wise choice. When we are making decisions about spending our money wisely, we must always think about meeting our needs first before satisfying our wants. And so, why do you think that we should always think of our needs first, Ajurne?
Well, as the definition says, we must have them in order to live. So we should always put them first.
Okay, good. And before we continue, let's play a quick game of needs and wants.
Okay.
I'm going to name us some things, and you have about 3 seconds to tell me if each is a need or a want. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready, boys and girls? I hope you are. Great. Let's go. Video game.
Want.
Gummy candy.
Want.
School clothes.
Need.
A house.
Need.
Water.
Need.
Chocolate bar.
Want.
Okay, perfect. Great job. Now let's look at something else that is really important when we're making decisions about spending. Ajurne, do you have a piggy bank or even a bank account?
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. And so, what do you use your piggy bank or bank account for?
To save money.
To save money. We use them, boys and girls out there listening, those of you who have a piggy bank, those of you who have a bank account, and I hope that you have both, we use them to save money. Why do you think that people save money?
So that they can work towards a goal in the future that costs more than they have right now.
Okay, good. And so we may save money so that we can afford to pay for things that we may need in the future. For example, buying a house or buying a car or the future education or emergencies. And so we are going to spell the word emergency, which is another important word, emergency, for our listening friends, all of our boys and girls out there listening to us.
Emergency. E-M-E-R-G-E-N-C-Y. Emergency. E-M-E-R-G-E-N-C-Y. Emergency.
Emergency, and one saving is important to make sure that we're prepared for an emergency. An emergency is when something happens that needs attention right away because it is very important or could be dangerous. For example, if someone in your family becomes ill or gets hurt and needs urgent help, making the choice to save some of your money for emergencies is a very wise, so that you can take care of your family member in such a situation. The most popular way to save money is to put it in an account at the bank. A bank account is a special place where you keep your money safe. It is a bank like Republic Bank, right? And you can put your money in there, and when you earn your money or you save your money, you put it there, and you can take money out when you need it. For example, in the case of an emergency. Making choices when spending our money is not always easy, but there are things we can do to help us. One way is to prepare a budget. Okay? And what is a budget? That's the question that boys and girls might be asking. So we're advising them to prepare a budget. What is a budget?
A budget is a plan of how to use your money.
Perfect. So a budget is a plan. So that means you have to plan out for how to spend your money, including the saving component, of course. It is a tool you can use to help you make wise choices about your money. For example, Jaden does not have to use his entire $50 on one item. He can make a budget to show the items he wants and how much he would be willing to spend on each. And of course, if we were looking at the initial scenario where he had those three choices of video game, bike, and donating to the charity, he could figure out, create a budget to determine how he would distribute that money. Ajani, can you spell the word budget for our friends? We're learning a lot. We learned lots of words today.
B-U-D-G-E-T. Budget. B-U-D-G-E-T. Budget.
All right, this is another word that can get students confused sometimes. So boys and girls, I hope that you wrote it down and you don't forget your D. B-U-D-G-E-T. Okay, one thing you must remember is that the items in your budget cannot cost more than the money you have. So when you do your budget, it must not equal to more than the money you have. So you have to make good choices on how to spend your money wisely. Ajani, are you going to start making a budget when you receive money from now on if you haven't before?
Yes, I will.
Okay, and what are some of the items that you think you can list on your budget?
I'll have a few wants, such as my sweets.
Of course, and your gum.
And then I'll put my needs, like my lunch for school. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good start. And then, of course, other needs may arise. For example, you may need a particular tool or resource, like you said, for school, which would be a need because you cannot do the assignments or you cannot complete the class without it. So things along that line, okay? Remember, saving is important, boys and girls. So always have it as one of the items in your budget. So as Ajani listed, her lunch is a potential line item. She listed her candy and gummies as a potential line item, looking at her wants and her needs. But one of the line items that we have to ensure that we are focusing on at every stage is saving. That should be in there, whether you save $1, $10, or $5 out of it. You try to ensure that saving is a line item there. You do not have to have a bank account to save. You can also save in a piggy bank right at home. And boys and girls, a piggy bank can take the form of anything. It doesn't have to be a formal store-bought piggy bank. It could be a jar, a money jar, coin jar that you can also save your money in. An old recycle an old jar, that mayonnaise jar, or some jar that would have been thrown out normally, or a butter container. It doesn't matter what it is, but make sure that you're holding on and saving some of your money. So what did we learn today? We learned that there are always several choices for how we spend our money. Always, not sometimes, always. However, whatever we choose, whether we decide to spend it now, save it for later, or share it with someone else, each choice is an important one. We must think about our needs versus our wants, saving for later, saving for emergencies, and using a budget. By thinking carefully about our choices, we have taken the first step towards managing our money wisely. Let's listen to our lovely jingle, and we will be back with a fun quiz where you can win some fun fun prizes, boys and girls. We'll have some call-in time for you to learn, to show us that you remember what you learned today.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real good living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
Alright, welcome back, boys and girls. Let's see, Ajerne, if our friends remember what we learned today about making wise choices with money. Please call us at 469-1616, 469-1700 for a chance to win some fun prizes. All you have to do is be the first to answer one of the questions correctly that Ajerne is about to share, and she will share each one twice. When you call, you can let us know if you want question 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and what the answer is. Ajerne, over to you.
Question number 1. Dash means picking between two or more things. Dash means picking between two or more things. Question number 2. Video games and gummy candies are considered wants or needs. Video games and the gummy candies are considered wants or needs. Number 3. True or false? When we make choices about how to spend our money, our needs should come first. When we make choices about how to spend our money, our needs should come first. Number 4. Multiple choice. A dash is a plan for how to spend your money. A. List. B. Book. C. Budget. Or D. File. A dash is a plan for how to spend your money. A. List. B. Book. C. Budget. Or D. File. And number 5. True or false? A bank account is a special place where you keep your money safe. A bank account is a special place where you keep your money safe.
Alright, so 469-1616, 469-1700. It doesn't seem like we have any callers on the line as yet, Ajerne, so we'll run through questions 1 to 5 one more time. Boys and girls, pay attention to the questions. Call in, let us know which question you want to respond to, and then we'll go from there, and we would be happy to interact with you. Ajerne.
Number 1. Dash means picking between two or more things. Dash means picking between two or more things. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Which question would you like to answer?
I would like to answer question 1, please.
Okay, dash means picking between two or more things.
Choice.
That is correct. What is your name?
Malika Dalton.
Good morning, Malika. Thank you for calling. Please remember to pick up your prize at the Department of Education.
Okay, I will. Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Malika. So, Ajerne, we have questions 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Video games and gummy candy are considered A. Wants or B. Needs. Video games and gummy candy are considered A. Wants or B. Needs. Number 3. True or false? When we make choices about how to spend our money, our needs should come first. True or false? When we make choices about how to spend our money, our needs should come first. Number 4. Multiple choice. A dash is a plan for how to spend your money. A. List. B. Book. C. Budget. Or D. File. A dash is a plan for how to spend your money. A. List. B. Book. C. Budget. Or D. File. And number 5. True or false? A bank account is a special place where you keep your money safe. A bank account is a special place where you keep your money safe.
And of course, the numbers to call 469-1616, 469-1700. And Ajerne, as we think about it and reflect on today's lesson, I can't help but think that most children, one, would not necessarily think about doing a budget. And two, even in doing their budget, they may try to distribute the money that they received into ways to spend it. And so this morning's lesson is important because it helps them to see that there are several components. Your wants component, your needs component, and of course ensuring that the mandatory savings is included no matter how small. Of course, the more that you can save, the better it is, but you have to ensure that you have some level of savings in there. So if your allowance is $20, don't spend the entire $20. Find a way to hold out maybe 10% of it, $2. Save that, and you will see if you save your $2. If you save your $2 a week for the entire year, by the end of the year you will have a little extra change to do some Christmas shopping or for some emergencies. So that's something that we have to take into consideration as a takeaway for this morning's lesson. We want to say congratulations to Malika for calling in, and we hope that other children will call in within the next 2 minutes, Ajerne, because you know I hear the flapping of the wings. Oliver wants to come through. He's just waiting patiently. He's actually pounding on the glass there, pecking on the glass there, because he's so eager to come through. But we are going to read the questions one more time, Ajerne, and give callers last chance to give us the answers. Questions 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Question number 2. Video games and candy are considered A. Wants or B. Needs. Video games and gummy candy are considered A. Wants or B. Needs. Number 3. True or false? When we make choices about how to spend our money, our needs should come first. Number 3. True or false? When we make choices about how to spend our money, our needs should come first. Number 4. Multiple choice. A dash is a plan for how to spend your money. A. List. B. Book. C. Budget. Or D. File. A dash is a plan for how to spend your money. A. List. B. Book. C. Budget. Or D. File. And number 5. A bank account is a special place where you keep your money safe. True or false? Sorry. A bank account is a special place where you keep your money safe.
Well, Ajerne, it seems like we've stumped our callers, so we may have to... Oh, okay. Let's hear from our caller.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Which question would you like to answer?
Number 4.
Okay.
Question number 4.
A dash is a plan for how to spend your money. A. List. B. Book. C. Budget. Or D. File.
B.
All right.
Easy.
Say it again.
Would you like me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
Okay. A dash is a plan for how to spend your money. A. List. B. Book. C. Budget. Or D. File.
C. Budget.
Okay, that's correct. What is your name?
Janaya Jones.
Good morning, Janaya. Thank you for calling. Please remember to collect your prize at the Department of Education.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Have a great weekend.
All right. Oliver has lost patience, so it's his time now. Come on in, Oliver. Boys and girls, we are going over to our value lesson segment.
Well, what do you know? It's November already. Boys and girls, And we at Oliver's Treehouse are preparing for the holidays. Yes, but I must share with you a very special word for this month, and that word is sincerity. This big word comes from the root word sincere, which means to be free from pretense or deceit, to be honest and genuine, to be real and not fake. Sincerity is earnest honesty that is readily doing what is right with pure and loving intention. The root of sincerity is love. Yes, boys and girls, my name is Oliver, and I sincerely approve this message. Now back to your host.
All right, welcome back. And Oliver is so sincere. He is one of the most sincere owls. The owl, I know. And so, thank you, Oliver, for introducing our value lesson for today and our word. Being sincere means telling the truth and meaning what you say. It's about being honest with your words and actions and not pretending or saying things you really don't mean. So, Ajane, can you give us an example of where someone was not being sincere?
When they're mocking you.
That's true. That is very, very true. Sometimes it can be very difficult, Ajane, to be sincere because we may not want to hurt other people's feelings. But as long as you're kind in the way you speak to people, you will not hurt their feelings even if you're being sincere and honest. Let's look at an example. Your friend shows you a drawing she worked on and she's really proud of it, but you don't think it's the best work she has done. What could you say to her without hurting her feelings?
Good attempt, but there are some places where you can improve.
All right. So you can say, like you said, exactly what you said, or you can tell her that you worked really hard on this. I can tell. I like the colors you use. Maybe next time you can add a few more colors in the background to make it even better. So you highlight the positive and then you make a suggestion. In this example, you're being sincere by complimenting the effort and offering helpful advice in a kind way. You're honest without saying anything that would hurt your friend's feelings. Being sincere also means showing how you really feel. For example, if you say sorry, it should be because you're truly sorry, not just because someone told you to do it. Boys and girls, you know we can be guilty of that. Sincerity helps you build strong and honest relationships with others. And so, Ajane, we've come to the end of another ECCB Children's Connection program, and we are so happy that all of our boys and girls joined us today. Until we meet you again, I am your host, Zahnela Claxton.
And I am your co-host, Ajane Hodge.
Let's talk again soon, but until then, make good choices with your money. Be sincere and
Stay connected.